Next thing we're going to do, we're going to create an object which can be attached to the agent. Right, so we're going to use this prefab pot. Right, we're going to move it a little bit up. And we're going to make it an interactive object. So the idea here is that when agent starts to interact with this object, it will basically bend down, attach it to its hands, and stand up and start carrying it. Alright. So we're gonna add a new action called pot pickup, and then we're going to add a pickup action to it. And if we look in this behavior tree, what it does, it simply plays the pickup down animation and then does attach object and then animation pickup again, right? So it bends down, attaches objects, and then plays the pickup animation. If you look in here, it is attaching an object named pot, right? And because it's red, it's a dynamic parameter as well, right? So what we need to do now, it's the similar thing as we've done with the fountain. So we need to tell the agent which pot is the agent's pot. So we add a new Unity Engine game object, and we're gonna name it pot. And from this moment on, this pot is only agent's pot. Right? So agent will be picking up this pot. So while I tell agent, hey agent, pick up a specific pot, it will pick up this one. We could do it a little bit differently and somehow create an action that would attach like object itself, so we wouldn't need to specify the game object in here, but we can do it in the future, right? So that the attach object action would attach an object which basically is executing this behavior tree, so like an owner, for example. All right. Well, that's good. So the idea now is that we will change the work protocol to of the agent. So we will go to our demo tree and we will get rid of this debug log text. But we add a new action called, we can actually go from here, and it is interact with object with behavior tree, right? And which object it is, we want to interact with the scene object called pot, and it is giving a warning that there is a dynamic parameter variable, right, in this tree, and it's not liking it, right? So basically it tells you, hey buddy, watch out, you need to give me the that variable if I want to execute this action as expected, right? And then it's telling me which action do I want to execute. So if the object holds more actions, I can tell which specific action on the pot I want to execute. So if I go to the pot only holds one action, so if it's only one action, it's considered to be a default action. But I could enter another action called another. If I would execute this another action, I would put another in here, right? So it tells you it does another action on pot, but it's okay. So I get rid of this, and now it's I get rid of this as well. And now I think we can put a force transform, right? And then the next bit is what we need to set up for this interactive object is the offset. So we wanna start interacting it probably very close, and because I already know there is a problem that this object has a center in its own center, so I need to put it a little bit to the ground. Okay, great. So now let's start this, and the agent, when it starts, it should, alright, so there's something wrong. It's telling me that there is no, it's trying to execute action with nothing. So let's just try again. Interact object pt, and I'll assign again the pot in here. Now it's again the default action, force transform, and let's play this again. There we go. An agent comes in here, plays the animation, and it should attach, or it should not actually. So the problem in here is I get this error in here saying, hey buddy, you have to have an inventory object component. If you wanna attach object, it needs to be object called inventory, right? It has to have an inventory object behavior. That means like it tells the agent some extra things of what you can do with it, right? So we're going to do it. I'm going to give you a little hint in here. So the easiest way to do this is to create an empty child and call it inventory, and I'm going to add inventory object parameter, not inventory. So I'm going to remove this one. Inventory object. And look at this. The only parameter it is, it tells you where you can attach it, and that is either a left or a right hand. Right? So I'm going to say I'm going to attach it to my right hand, since I'm a right-handed guy. And okay, so now when I launch this should change a little bit. Now, but if I look at this now, the problem of this is that the pot is attached completely incorrectly. So the best way to do this, to tweak this, is to pause wherever you need it to pause, and then you play with the, sorry, I need to select the pot itself, right? So, and not the inventory object, but I need to select the pot. So where are you, pot? Pot, there we go. That's what I want. And now I'm going to play with the pot. So I'm going to move it here and here, a little bit outside, and rotate it a little bit like this. Right, so it's kind of, and it's not sticking from my chest. Right, so that now I'm quite happy with this. And then, as you know, when you turn off the Unity, this would be lost. So what I need to do, I'm going to right click on the transform, and I'm going to copy component in here. Now I can safely turn it off. And what I need to do is basically tell the inventory object how it needs to be attached. And since I've already copied all these nice parameters, all I need to do now is to paste these component values in here. And that's all I needed to do. Right? So now these values are preserved. So in my inventory object. So when the agent starts the interaction now, it will be nicely attached exactly the way I want it. All right.